Yeah.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Namaste to all. Prostrating at the lotus feet of Brahmanishta, Shotriya Sadguru, Swami Virajeshwara, Saraswati, and the entire Guru Parampara, on behalf of all of us. Today's discourse on the Viveka Chudamani will continue. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha, Sadashiva Samarambham, Shri Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Paramparam, Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam, Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Loka Shankaram, Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam, Sutra Bhashya Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam, Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham. Om Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwaraya. Harihi Om. Last time we had stopped at the shloka number 521. From 522 onwards, the verse number, today's discourse will continue, which is mainly based on, this discourse is mainly influenced and inspired by the exposition, bhashya, explanation given by Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal on the Viveka Chudamani, the magnum opus, the Paramasreshta Prakarana Grantha written by Sri Shankara Bhagavatpada. So here the Sadguru, in his most benedictory, pleasant style, now he is almost, he is rendering a sort of the summarizing all the Upadesha he had given so far to the qualified disciple. And after looking at the disciple later, becoming a Brahmajnani himself, after looking at the disciple who has realized himself, who has understood his own reality, his own real swarupa, real nature, the preceptor Sadguru is so pleased, and now he is speaking. He is speaking. So he is extolling the virtues of a Brahmajnani, Atmajnani. And he continues next, now addressing the disciple. Asat padarthanubhavena kinchit nahi asti truptirna cha dukkahanihi tadadvayanandarasana truptah sukham tishtha sadatmanishtaya. Sadguru says to his closest, dearest disciple who has realized himself, who has become an Atmajnana himself. Sadguru tells him, Asat padarthanubhavena kinchit nahi asti truptirna cha dukkahanihi tadadvayanandarasana truptah sukham tishtha sadatmanishtaya. Parama karunayinda, Paramanandadinda, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ ಮುದ್ರೆಯಿಂದ ಸದ್ಗುರು ತನ್ನ ಶಿಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ವತ್ಸ, ಮಿಥ್ಯಾ ಸ್ವರೂಪವಾದ ಈ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ವಿಷಯ ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಸುಖೋಪಭೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಅನ್ನುವುದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಿವೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಸುಖವನ್ನ ಭೋಗವನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ್ರು ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ಉಪಭೋಗದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಷಯ ಸುಖಗಳ ಅನುಭವದಲ್ಲಿ ದುಃಖ ನಿವೃತ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ, ದುಃಖ ಆತ್ಯಂತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದುಃಖ ನಿವೃತ್ತಿಯೂ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ತೃಪ್ತಿಯೂ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ದುಃಖ ನಿವೃತ್ತಿಯೂ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಈ ಪರಮ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾದಂತಹ ಅದ್ವಯಾನಂದ ರಸ ಅನುಭವದಿಂದ ತೃಪ್ತನಾದ ನೀನು, ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಪನ್ನನಾದ ನೀನು ಸದಾ ಕಾಲ ಸರ್ವದಾ ಆತ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠನಾಗಿಯೇ ಇದ್ದು ಬಿಡು. ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಶ್ಲೋಕ. ತೃಪ್ತಃ ಸುಖಂ ತಿಷ್ಠ ಸದಾತ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠಯ. ದಿ ಸದ್ಗುರುಸ್ ಬೆನಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಟು ದ ಡಿಸೈಪಲ್. ತೃಪ್ತಃ ಸುಖಂ ತಿಷ್ಠ ಸದಾತ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠಯ. ಸದಾತ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠಯ ತಿಷ್ಠ. That means sada atmanishto bhava. In other words, Sadguru is telling his disciple who has realized himself, sada atmanishto bhava. Truptah sukham tishtha sadatmanishta. Sada brahmanishto bhava. Asat padarthanubhavena kinchit nahi asti trupti nacha dukkha. The Guru says, in the enjoyment of this worldly pleasures, worldly sensuous pleasures, the worldly objects which are actually unreal, asat padartha, mithya, there can never be a satisfaction at all, nor there can never be the annulment of the grief. So neither there is satisfaction nor the disappearance of sorrow or grief in the worldly enjoyment. In enjoying the sensuous pleasures in this, with the reference to worldly object, which itself is asat padartha. The world itself is asat padartha. So where there can be really satisfaction and where the sorrow will end, the suffering or the sorrow will always remain in this waking world when you consider this as real. So where is the annulment of the sorrow and where is the final satisfaction? The more you enjoy worldly pleasures, the more the mind wants it. So the question of being satisfied never arises. Our Gurudev used to tell on all these things, in a simple. People run after money, our Gurudev used. People always run after money. How much money you give them, they feel still unsatisfied. There is no end. There is no Lakshman Rekha. Nobody puts a boundary line and says, now it is enough. I have earned a lot of money, it is enough. Let me not bother about earning more money. Let me concentrate on my own tapasya. Let me now think of turning myself inwards. Let me start the inward journey. Nobody will say that because they always remain unsatisfied. Example of money, the greatest, the greatest Maya is that attraction of money power is the greatest Maya, our Gurudev. So Sadguru says. So in this life, there is neither satisfaction, however much you enjoy, nor your sufferings will come. So, tadadvayanandarasānubhūtya trupta sukham tishta sadatmanishtaya. Hence, my dear disciple, always remain satisfied and happy in that non-dual bliss now which you have entered into. Always remain in that Brahma Bhava, Atma Bhava. You have enjoying yourself, that supreme bliss. Remain in that state all the time. Sada Atmanishto Bhava. Don't turn back towards worldly sensuous objects. You have experienced your Atma Swarupa. Remain in that all the time. That is. Guru's word, Sadguru's. He continued. Swameva sarvatha pashyan manyamanah swamadvayam swanandam anubunjanah kalam nayamahamate. Swameva sarvatha pashyan manyamanah swamadvayam swanandam anubunjanah kalam nayamahamate. ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಮಹಾಮತಿಯೇ, ಶಿಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಸಂಬೋಧನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಗುರುಗಳು. ಆತ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಿಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಮಹಾಮತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಈ ನಿನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮಾನುಭವದಲ್ಲೇ ನೀನು ಮುಳುಗಿ ಸರ್ವದಾ ಸರ್ವಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಆತ್ಮನನ್ನೇ ನೋಡ್ತಾ, ಆತ್ಮನನ್ನೇ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ, ಆತ್ಮನನ್ನೇ ಮನನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ, ಆತ್ಮಾನಂದವನ್ನೇ ಅನುಭವಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಕಾಲವನ್ನು ಕಳೆ. ನಿನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧವಶಾತ್ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಶರೀರ ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಬದುಕಬೇಕು ಅದು ಬದುಕಲಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಕಾಲವನ್ನು ಕಳೆ. ಸ್ವಾನಂದಂ ಅನುಭುಂಜಾನಃ ಕಾಲಂ ನಯ ಮಹಾಮತೆ. ಮಹಾಮತೆ, ಕಾಲಂ ನಯ. ನಿನ್ನ ಶೇಷ ಈ ಶರೀರದ ಆಯುಷ್ಯ ತೀರುವವರೆಗೂ ಆನಂದ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಆನಂದಮಯನಾಗಿ ಆ ಆತ್ಮಾನುಭವದಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮನನ್ನೇ ಮನನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ ನಿಜಾನಂದನಾಗಿ ಇದ್ದು ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ ಮಹಾಮತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಶಿಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಗುರುಗಳು. So the Sadguru says, oh noble soul, Mahamate means, oh noble soul, my dear Uttamottama disciple, spend your days seeing yourself everywhere, thinking about yourself as a non-dual Parama Chaitanya. Ekam eva advitiyam, there is only one and you are that only. There is no second, there is no other than you, and you are that only. You are that Atma Swarup. So always thinking about your own self, seeing yourself everywhere, experiencing your own self everywhere, always remain in that non-dual Nijananda state. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಕಾರದಿಂದಲೂ ಸ್ವಾತ್ಮನನ್ನೇ ನೋಡುತ್ತಾ, ಅದ್ವಯನಾದ ಆತ್ಮನನ್ನೇ ಮನನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ, ಸ್ವಾತ್ಮಾನಂದವನ್ನೇ ಅನುಭವಿಸುತ್ತಾ ನಿನ್ನ ಕಾಲವನ್ನು ಕಳೆ. ಕಾಲಂ ನಯ ಮಹಾಮತಿ. Spend your remaining days, as long as the sharira, this jada sharira made up of 5 elements. As per the prarabdha, sharira is born, and till the prarabdha culminates, the sharira, the body will remain. Body here also, please remember, it includes body-mind complex all the time. So this body remains as long as the prarabdha dictates. And one fine day the body will go away. Death will devour the body. So till that, kalam naya, remain steadfast in your atmanubhava, in your own atmananda, seeing self everywhere. There is nobody else other than you. You are that non-dual atma itself. You have no other work. You have fulfilled everything. You need not go anywhere. You need not search anything. It is there, and you are that only. You have become that only. You have regained your glory of your original status. So far it was forgotten, and now you have regained back. Now you know what you are and who you are here. You are that Atma Swarup. So there is no question of ifs and buts. All the time remain in the same power. All the time. Small digression here coming to the mind by the grace of the Guru. See, most of the Guru Bandhus I know, we have heard, maybe some of us we have read also in detail about one of the greatest Santa Purushas of our country, namely Sri Lahiri Mahashaya, as he was referred. He was a householder, wife and children, living in Kashi, Benares. He was simply called as Lahiri Mahashaya. His original name was Sri Shankaracharya Lahiri, and simply was referred Lahiri. You remember he was the one chosen by Mahavatar Babaji, and Mahavatar Babaji gave a darshan to him in Raniket when he was working there in Himachal Pradesh. Then everything goes on, and then he became the Sadguru for the Yukteswara Giri. And Yukteswara Giri later became a Sadguru for Paramhamsa Yogananda. And in his autobiography of Life of a Yogi, Paramhamsa Yogananda refers to Sri Lahiri Mahashaya along with Mahavatar Baba. Now there is a famous, huge magnum opus, larger book published with a heading as Purana Purusha Lahiri Mahashaya. Purana Purusha Lahiri Mahashaya, which includes the biography, also includes some of the personal experiences of Lahiri Mahashaya, Sri Shankaracharya Lahiri, one of the greatest Jivan Muktas of the day. He kept a diary himself where he recorded all his personal experiences during his sadhana. How things appeared, how things happened. Always, he was very fond of using certain terminologies, like for the self, he used to always refer the word as Atmasurya. Atmasurya for the self, for Atman. And everything in detail he has recorded. And that personal diary now is with the grandson of Lahiri Mahashaya, Benares. And in this biography, with the permission of the grandson, those details, the details of the modes of sadhana by Lahiri Mahashaya himself, which is recorded in his personal diary, have been included in this book called Purana Purusha. At one stage, while explaining so many things in that book, in his diary, Sri Lahiri Mahashaya mentions one important shloka that is coming to the mind. Sri Lahiri Mahashaya mentions in his diary, at one place, I cannot go into all the details here. At one place, he mentions a famous shloka, a famous hymn verse taken out from Jnana Sankalani Tantra, from the book called Jnana Sankalani Tantra, a tantric, just like Rudrayamala Tantra, Ularanava Tantra. This is also a book on Tantra Shastra, Jnana Sankalani Tantra. So he takes out a hymn there and he writes down in the diary while explaining his own sadhana. Sri Lahiri Mahashaya says there, idam tirtham dhamanti tamasa janaha atma tirtham na jananti katham moksham varanani. That is a shloka. Idam tirtham dhamanti tamasa janaha atma tirtham na jananti katham moksham varanane. It is simple, not very difficult to understand the purport of the meaning here. Tamasa janaha brahmanti, here and there, they go here and there. Normal people, majority are ajnanis, tamasic, also rajasic, They will be moving here and there, idam tirtham, idam tirtham. They will be moving here and there to one pilgrimage center to the other one, from the other one to the next one, from the next one to the next. Because why they are helter-skelter moving all the time? They are searching something. They are searching God here and there, here and there. And also, more than searching God, out of a common point, a feeling in the mind that if I visit a pilgrimage center of great importance, my previous birth, past deeds, whichever evil deeds I have done, they will be vanished. Papa nivrutti. All my evil karmas, they will get vanished if I go on visiting. And God will bless me. So with a desire, they will be visiting here and there, here and idam tirtham, brahmanti, tamasa janaha brahmanti. So in a great delusion, they move from one place to one place in search of mental peace, in search of personal, eternal satisfaction, in search of God. But the next charana says, Atma tirtham na jananti katham moksham varanane. So as long as the self, Atma tirtha, as long as Atmanabhava doesn't occur, as long as the personal direct experience of that self never occurs, kadam moksham varanane. So where is the question of the escape from this bondage called samsara? They are stuck in the samsara from every birth to the next birth and this birth to the next birth. They'll be moving here and there, moving here and there, because they have not realized. Till realization dawns, till the direct experience dawns in, this cycle goes on, this delusion goes on. That is a meaning of it. So the disciple is told by the Sadguru, Swanandam anubunjhanaha kalam nayamaha. To spend your rest of the time drinking the nectar of the Paramananda, the bliss, Ananda. You need not go anywhere, you need not do anything. That is the point. You have, everything has been achieved. What is to be achieved has already been achieved. So there are no more wants, no more goals, and no more mission in life. You have fulfilled the very purpose of the birth as a human being. So that is it. Next, akhanda bodhatmani nirvikalpe vikalpam vikalpanam vyomni purakalpanam vikalpanam vyomni puraprakalpanam tadadvayanandam ayamatmana sada shantim paramitya bhajasva maunam. Akhanda bodhatmani nirvikalpe vikalpanam vyomni puraprakalpanam tadadvayanandamayatmana sada shantim paramitya bhajasva maunam. ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ವಿಕಲ್ಪಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಸಂಶಯ ಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಿಗಳಾಗಲಿ, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ವೃತ್ತಿಯಾಗಲಿ, ಮನೋವೃತ್ತಿಗಳೇ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಖಂಡ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಸ್ವರೂಪನಾದ ಆತ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ವಿಕಲ್ಪ ರಹಿತನಾದಂತಹ ಆತ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ವಿವಿಧ ರೀತಿಯ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಧರ್ವ ನಗರಿಯನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಸಿದಂತೆ, ಆಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವೇ ಸ್ವತಃ ಕಲ್ಪನಾ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದಿಂದ ಆಕಾಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನಗರವನ್ನು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಸಿದಂತೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅದ್ವಯಾನಂದ ಸ್ವರೂಪದಿಂದ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಪರಮಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿ ಮೌನವನ್ನು ಸೇವಿಸು. ಶಾಂತಿಂ ಪರಾಮಿತ್ಯ ಭಜಸ್ವ ಮೌನಂ. ಭಜಸ್ವ ಮೌನಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೌನದಲ್ಲಿರು, ಆನಂದದಲ್ಲಿರು. ಈ ಮಹಾಮೌನವೇ ಪರಮಾನಂದ, ಆ ಪರಮಾನಂದವೇ ಮಹಾಮೌನ. ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳುವುದಾಗ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳುವುದಾಗ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ವಿಕಲ್ಪಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಮನೋಪ್ರವೃತ್ತಿಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ವೃತ್ತಿಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣನಾಗಿ ಆನಂದಮಯ ಸ್ಥಿತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆನಂದ ಸ್ವರೂಪನೇ ಆಗಿ ಮೌನವಾಗಿದ್ದು ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ ಸದ್ಗುರುಗಳು ಶಿಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. So what he says here, ಅಖಂಡ ಬೋಧಾತ್ಮನಿ ನಿರ್ವಿಕಲ್ಪೆ, ನಿರ್ವಿಕಲ್ಪೆ ಅಖಂಡ ಬೋಧಾತ್ಮನಿ ವಿಕಲ್ಪನಂ ವ್ಯೋಮ್ನಿ ಪುರಪ್ರಕಲ್ಪನಂ. Imagining differences, imagining diversity, imagining the duality, thinking that is all real in that infinite Parabrahma, Supreme Chaitanya, which is non-dual, which is only one, which is real. Imagining the diversity is like imagining a fairy tale like city in the sky, building castle in the air as it is called. Akhanda Jnana Swarupa, Parama Chaitanya, there is no diversity. It is only one Akhanda Vastu, non-dual. Akhanda Bodhatmani Nirvikalpa. There are no mental pravritis. So that is why, hence remain silent all the time, enjoying the eternal bliss and eternal peace. Tadadvayanandam ayamatma sada shantim parametya bhajasva maunam. Always remain silent, peaceful. You are at peace. You are at peace. So remain in the same condition. So there is no question of any mental modification here. No pravartis, no sankalpa, no vikalpa. Then he says, Toshneemavastha paramopashantihi buddherasatkalpa vikalpa heto brahmatmana brahmavido mahatmano yatradvayananda sukham nirantaram. Toshneemavastha paramopashantihi buddhe asatkalpa vikalpa heto brahmatmana brahmavido mahatmano yatradvayananda sukham nirantaram. ಈ ಮಿಥ್ಯಾ ವಿಷಯಗಳು, ಅವುಗಳ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗೆ ಕಾರಣವಾದಂತಹ, ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಬುದ್ಧಿಗೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ಪರಮ ಮೌನವೇ ಪರಮಶಾಂತಿ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ಪರಮ ಮೌನವೇ, ಆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಟಾಗತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪರಮ ಮೌನವೇ ಪರಮ ಶಾಂತಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾಣುತ್ತದೆ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಚಂಚಲ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ವಿಕಲ್ಪಗಳ ಮನೋವೃತ್ತಿಗಳ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರವೇ ಕಾರಣ. ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಟಾಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆಲೋಚನಾ ಅಲೆಗಳಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಆಸೆಗಳು, ಬಯಕೆಗಳು, ಕಾಮನೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಶಯಗಳು, ಇವು ಸಂಕಲ್ಪ ವಿಕಲ್ಪವನ್ನ ಭ್ರಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಿಗೆ. ಆದರೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ, ಪರಮ ಶಾಂತಿಯಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ಆತನ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪರಮ ಮೌನವೇ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಮಶಾಂತಿ. ತೂಷ್ಣೀಮವಸ್ಥಾ ಪರಮೋಪಶಾಂತಿ. Hear what Acharya says. To the one who has realized his own self, to the one who has become a Brahmajnani, to the one who has become a Atmajnani, to the one who has realized his own Atman, the one who knows that he is no more the body, he is Atmaswarup. He is, in effect, he experiences that he is that Paramachaitan, that superlative, supreme awareness. He is that Atmaswarup. And who always in that state, his eternal peace, his peace itself will remove all such sankalpa, vikalpas which may arise in the mind, as it happens in the case of ajnanis. So to the knower of Brahman, the mind which is fickle by itself by nature, which is the cause of imagination, of the unreal being real. Mind being fickle, it is the cause of the imagination of the world, of the point that the world is real. But in all normal cases, in normal ajnanis, the mind is responsible to observe and to feel that everything is real, the world is real. Because the mind itself is a product of Maya. By the delusion, by the effect of the Maya, Avarana and Vikshepa Shakti, the mind believes that everything is real, the world is real, diversity is real. Such a mind, in case of a Brahmajnani, in case of an Atmajnani, it always remains still, calm and prashant, always at peace. Such a mind which is fickle by its nature remains calm and quiet and at peace in case of a Brahmajnani who has realized, who has understood, who has crossed over the Maya, who has cut the effect of the Maya, who has cut the effect of the Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. No more he is bewitched, no more he is deluded by the worldly affairs, the worldly things. No more is deluded by the fact that he is a body-mind. So his mind is always at peace. It won't revolt, it won't fickle, it won't create any sankalpa and vikalpa, any desires, any aspirations, or any doubts. No more. So the mind remains always at peace. Why? Because by the reason of he being Brahman himself, by the reason of he being Atmanishta himself, by the reason he being that Paramatma Swarupa himself, it is always, there is permanent bliss. Always there is eternal bliss in the purest of the pure mind has been totally purified. So there is no question of sankalpa and vikalpa. Here, asatkalpa vikalpa hetu. So nothing will arise because his mind is totally purified. So he always enjoys the permanent bliss of Advaitananda, Advayananda Sthiti, that state of oneness, that state of non-dual Brahman. So his mind is always free of the desire. So it remains silent, always at peace in case of a Brahmajnani. See the difference what Acharya is mentioning here between how the normal mind, Ajnani mind, works, thinks everything is real, and how Ajnani is purified, the purest mind works. So there is no question of ahambhava or ego, everything is gone. Always there is peace, always there is bliss. There are no sankalpa, no vikalpa, no delusion, no suffering. Very important point. In case of a jnani, what happens? Always there is permanent bliss, permanent sukha, eternal bliss, unchanging, always remain. He never experiences even for a second the grief or the sorrow, which is the root cause for mental afflictions. root cause for your tension-filled life, restless life. So he is beyond all those things. Beyond all those things. Next, Sadhguru says, Gachan Tishtan Upavishan, Gachan Tishtan Upavishan, Shayano va Anyathapi va. Gachan Tishtan Upavishan, Shayano va Anyathapi va. Yatechaya vased vidwan, Atma Ramas sada munihi. Yatechaya vaset vidwan, Atma Ramas sada munihi. Gachan tishtan upavishan, Shayano va anyathapi va. Yatechaya vaset vidwan, Atma Ramas sada munihi. ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಶಿಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ, ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ವತ್ಸ, ವಿದ್ವಾಂಸನಾದಂತಹ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದನಾದಂತಹ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥಕೊಂಡಂತಹ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಿದನೇ ಆಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಮುನಿ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಹೇಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಆತ ನಡೆಯುವಾಗಲಿ, ನಿಲ್ಲುವಾಗಲಿ, ಕುಳಿತುಕೊಳ್ಳುವಾಗಲಿ, ಮಲಗುವಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುವವನಾಗ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವೇಚ್ಛೆಯಿಂದ ಆತ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸರ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರನಾಗಿ ಯಾರ ಅಧೀನಕ್ಕೂ ಒಳಪಡದಂತೆ, ಪರತಂತ್ರನಾಗದೆ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರನಾಗಿ ನಿರ್ಭಯನಾಗಿ ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸದಾ ಆನಂದಮಯನಾಗಿ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಯಥೇಚ್ಛಯಾ ವಸೇತ್ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಆತ್ಮಾರಾಮ ಸದಾ ಮುನಿಃ ಗಚ್ಚನ್ ತಿಷ್ಠನ್ ಉಪವಿಶನ್ ಶಯಾನೋ ವಾ ಅನ್ಯಥಾಪಿ ವಾ. Now here Acharya says how a Jivan Mukta, a liberated soul, should behave or he behaves after realizing his own Atma Swarupa, after experiencing directly, perceiving directly, after the direct perception that I am that Atma Swarupa. How he behaves in the world, such a Muni, such a Brahmajnani, Muni here refers to the realized soul. Acharya is using the word Muni, refers to realized soul. Brahmajnani, Jivan Mukta, a liberated soul. So how he will behave? Gachan tishtan upavishan shayano va anyathapi va yatechaya vaset vidwan atma ramas sada munihi. How he remains or he should remain? All the time delighting in his own Atman, enjoying that bliss, supreme bliss, Brahmananda, Atmananda. The Muni, the liberated soul, the Jnani, he has to live or he lives very freely without under any obligation with anyone. Totally, he lives freely as a Sarva Tantra Swatantra. With complete freedom at his hand, he lives freely all the time while either going or sitting or lying down or doing any other thing. There is nobody to question him. He is not under anybody's control. He does whatever he wants. Wherever he wants to go, he will go. Wherever he will want to sit, he will sit. Wherever he wants to lie down, he will lie down. Or do any other thing, means any other thing. So it is all self-propelled action, not guided or influenced by anybody else in the world. No human being can interfere into the works of the behavior, into the nature, into the movement of a Jnani. How a Jnani behaves, how a Jnani reacts in the world, nobody can fathom, nobody can understand. He is all the time free to himself, because he has regained, he has obtained his Swarajya and Samrajya. There is no other Isha, no other superior power beyond him, above him. He is all the himself, is the superior most. He has regained his own total sovereignty. There is nobody to question him, nobody to subjugate him. That is Gachan Tishtan Upavishan Shayano Vapi Anyathapi. Whatever he does, he does. No question. Nobody can question. He is living freely. See what Acharya says here. Same thing Lord Krishna Paramatma in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna Paramatma in Bhagavad Gita has mentioned in the chapter 5 in a beautiful shloka how a Tattvadarshi, there he uses the word, Tattvavit he uses the word, Samadarshi he uses the word in Bhagavad Gita. For a Jnani, for a realized Mahatman, the Lord Krishna Paramatma uses so many words. In one place he calls him as Tattvadarshi, in one place he calls him as Sthita Prajna, in one place he calls him Samadarshi, at one place he calls him Pandita, like that, like. So, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord tells Arjuna, look at the similarity. The Lord Krishna Paramatma tells about the nature of a Brahmajnani, how the Brahmajnani behaves in the world. From the onlooker point of view, how he looks, how he behaves. Actually, what he is, nobody can understand. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavit. Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyeta tattvavit. Pashyan shunvan sprishan jigran ashnan gachan swapan shwasan. Pashyan shunvan sprishan jigran ashwan gachan swapan shwasan. Pralapan visrujan grunnan unmeshan nimishannapi. Pralapan visrujan grunnan unmeshan nimishannapi. Indriyani indriyartheshu vartanta iti dharayan. The key word of the last line of the second shloka, the two shlokas go together here. There is no time to explain all these things. But the key word, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Indriyani indriyartheshu vartante iti dharayan. The Brahmajnani, the knower of Brahma, knower of truth, knows that, see, the sense organs with reference to the sense objects, they all act accordingly while perceiving different sense inputs. So the sense organs perceive and act accordingly when they perceive different sense inputs and they react. His organs of functions react, sense organs react accordingly depending on the inputs. Indriyani indriyarteshu vartante iti dharayan. Indriyani indriya artheshu vartante iti dharayan. So the body organs, whether sensory organs or motor organs of action, they are performing according to the inputs of the senses. They are behaving, they are reacting. Iti dharayan. In this way, the jnani naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manye tattvavit. So jnani thinks that he is not doing anything actually. He is not doing anything. The body is performing its allotted function. Sense organs are perceiving different inputs. The organs of action, karmendriya, they are performing different functions. I have nothing to do with that. I am neither Karmendriya, nor I am Jnanendriya, nor this Sthula body, nor the Sthula Sharira, nor this mind, nor the Buddhi, nor the Chitta. So nothing pertains to me. Sense organs are seeing, perceiving, experiencing. The motor organs are performing their functions. Nothing to do with me. Actually, I am not doing anything. That is how a tattvavid, a jnani, feels. So a jnani knows that all the acts like seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, going here and there, sleeping, breathing, defecation, discharge of urine, blinking of the eyes, closing of the eyes, etc., etc., etc. They're all the actions of the sense organs and the motor organs. The body is reacting. So that is the point. Same thing Acharya says here. The Brahmavit, knower of Brahma, knower of truth, he is totally free. What he does, where he sleeps, where he sits, where he goes, what he does, everything, he is totally free. Totally free. He is not bound by anyone for all the actions of his own body. There is a point here to remember. Next, Sadguru continues. Na desha kalasanati yamadi lakshyadyapeksha apratibadha vrutte samsaddha tattvasya mahatmanosti svavedaneka niyamadyapeksha. Na desha kalasanati yamadi lakshyadyapeksha apratibadha vrutte samsiddha tattvasya mahatmanosti svavedaneka niyamadyapeksha. Keywords here. Samsiddha tattvasya mahatmanah svavedane ka niyamadi apeksha asti. Question mark. Keywords. Samsiddha tattvasya mahatmanah svavedane ka niyamadi apeksha asti. Samsiddha tattvasya mahatmanosti svavedaneka niyamadyapeksha. Niyamadi apeksha kaha asti. ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರತಿಬಂಧ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ, ಅಡೆತಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಪರಿಶುದ್ಧವಾದ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಮತ್ತು ಮನಸ್ಸು ಉಳ್ಳಂತಹ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪವನ್ನು ನಿಶ್ಚಯ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಂತಹ ಮಹಾತ್ಮನಿಗೆ, ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ದೇಶ, ಕಾಲ, ಆಸನ, ದಿಕ್ಕು, ಯಮ, ನಿಯಮಾದಿಗಳು, ಲಕ್ಷ್ಯ, ಈ ತರದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಬಂಧನವೂ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ನಿಯಮಗಳ ಬಂಧನವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ದೇಶ, ಕಾಲ, ಆಸನ, ದಿಕ್ಕು, ಯಮ, ನಿಯಮ ಆದಿ ಇಂತಹ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಯಗಳು ಯಾರಿಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸಾಧನೆಯ ಪ್ರಥಮ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸಾಧನೆಯ ಮೊದಲ ಹಂತಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಷ್ಠೆಯಿಂದ ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಸಾಧಕನಿಗೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಅವಶ್ಯಕವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ವೇದಾಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಆತ ವೈರಾಗ್ಯವಂತನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ವಿವೇಕಯುಕ್ತನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಶಮದಮಾದಿ ಷಟ್ ಸಂಪತ್ತಿನಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿರಬೇಕು, ಮುಮುಕ್ಷತ್ವ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥವನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಲೇಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ತೀವ್ರವಾದ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ ಉಳ್ಳವನಂತಹ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷು ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ಟುಪಾಡುಗಳು ಸಾಧನೆಯ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಟಾಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಸಹಜವಾದ ನಿಯಮಗಳು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಾಧಾರಣವಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಾಧಕರು ನಿಯಮಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧನೆಯನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಗುರುವಿನ ಉಪದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಕ ಹಂತಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಬೇಕು. ಆದರೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥವನಿಗೆ, ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾಗಿರುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನು ಯಾವ ನಿಯಮಗಳಿದೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ? ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲವೇ? ಕಾಲ, ದೇಶ, ಅವಸ್ಥೆ, ದಿಕ್ಕು, ಯಮ, ನಿಯಮ, ಈ ರೀತಿಯ ಅಷ್ಟಾಂಗ ಯೋಗ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಶಮದಮಾದಿಗಳಾಗಲಿ ಇವನ್ನ ಪಾಲನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಯಾವ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ ಇದೆ? ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ದಾಟಿ, ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಮೀರಿ, ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಮುಗಿದು ಕೃತಾರ್ಥನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರತಿಬಂಧಗಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ. So what Acharya says here, na desha kalasana dik yamadi lakshadi apeksha apratibadha vritte samsiddha tattvasya mahatmanosti swavedaneka niyamadhyapeksha. To a mahatman, a realized soul, to a jnani, to a liberated person, all his mental pravrittis, mental vrittis, mental modifications, sankalpa vikalpas, all the desires, all the aspirations, all the doubts, everything, mental pravritti means sankalpa plus vikalpa. Everything, totally they have rendered ineffective. The mind has become purest of the pure, Vishuddha Sattva. Not simple Sattva, Vishuddha Sattva, purest of the pure. The mind has become, all the vasanas have gone, all the impurities have gone. So that refers to mental pravritti. Where the mind is very clear, mind is crystal clear, totally pure. So that state is referred actually as vasana shaya or manonasha state. So for such a person, such a samsiddha tattvasya, such a mahatmanaha, swavedaneka niyamadi apeksha asti. So where are the rules applicable for such a mahatman? No rules and regulations of the initial spiritual sadhana mode. Some of the rules and regulations for the spiritual practices are there in the beginning to be adopted by any spiritual aspirant. Vedanta says the Guru will advise as per the Guru's dictates, as per the Guru Adesha. The sadhaka will continue his spiritual journey. And there are certain set rules. And they will follow the rules. Like, for either sitting for japa or meditation, for dhyana, also for reflection, manana. So many rules are there. So the posture, the time, the direction, and mental disciplines like yama, niyama, shama, damadi, shat sampatti, ashtanga yoga system, in that it comes yama, niyama, pratyahara, asana, pranayama, etc. All these rules and the object of the meditation, the posture, how you sit, the place where you sit, the time chosen to sit for meditation or japa, all these things, posture, direction, mental disciplines, object of meditation, all these things are applicable to the spiritual aspirant. They have to follow some rules. Spiritual practices, in the beginning at least, some rules are to be followed. But for a Brahmajnani, where are the rules? Which rules will apply? No rules will apply to a Brahmajnani. He has gone beyond those. He has gone beyond all these things. So that is what Acharya says. And now he gives a simple example. 2-line shloka, short one, next. He gives an example. Acharya gives an example. Kato ayamiti vijñātum niyamako nupekshate. Kato ayamiti vijñātum niyamaha ko nu apekshate vina pramana sushtutram yasmin satipadarthadihi. Vina pramana sushtutvam yasmin satipadarthadihi. Ghato ayam iti vijñātum ko niyamaha nu apekshate, question mark, first line. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಶಿಷ್ಯ, ಈಗ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಮಡಕೆ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು ಗಡಿಗೆ, ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಗಡಿಗೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಗಡಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮಡಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಮಡಿಕೆ, ಮಣ್ಣಿನಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಡಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಮಡಿಕೆ ಅನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಬೇಕಾ? ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ನೋಟ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ನೋಟ, ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ. ಅದು ಮಡಿಕೆ, ಅದು ಗಡಿಗೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ನೋಟವೇ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಬೇಕು? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ನಿಯಮ ಬೇಕು? ಇದು ಮಡಕೆ ಅನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಮಡಕೆಯಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದಲೇ ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಸ್ವತಃ ಸಿದ್ಧವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಮಡಕೆ ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅದು ಸ್ವಯಂ ಸಿದ್ಧ, ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಮಾಣವಾಗಿದೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ಮಡಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ನಿಯಮ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಸ್ವಯಂ ಮಡಿಕೆ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ, ಅದೇ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಪ್ರಮಾಣಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಮಡಿಕೆಯಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ. ನೋಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ. ಈ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಮೊದಲು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಮುಂದಿನ ಶ್ಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇತುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So in this example, in this verse, 2-line verse, what Acharya says, he is giving an example. Ghato ayamiti vijñatum niyamako nu apekshyate vina pramana sushtutvam yasmin sati padarthadihi. What other rule or a different proof is needed to know that this is a pot? Look, my dear disciple, there is a pot in front of you. Do you require any other extraordinary proof, any other rule is it required to know that this is a pot in front of you? Other than the direct perception, you are seeing it, perceived it, that itself is a proof. So the pot being a pot itself is a proof that it is a pot. Any other proof or rule is not required. It's a logical way of putting things here. Acharya is using sort of an example with a logic. No other proof is required other than itself to know that it is a pot. This is interesting, this example. This example, this shloka is understood only when you go to the next shloka. So similarly, in the next shloka, Acharya says, Ayamatma nitya siddha pramane sati bhasati. Next shloka. Ayamatma nitya siddha pramane sati bhasate na desham na piva kalam na shuddhim va api apekshyate. Na desham na piva kalam na shuddhim vapi apekshyate. Ayamatma nitya siddha pramane sati bhasate. ಮುಂದಿನ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲಿನ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು. ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಶಿಷ್ಯ, ಈ ಆತ್ಮ ಇದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಗಾತ್ಮ ಇದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈತ ನಿತ್ಯ ಸಿದ್ಧನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ, ನಿತ್ಯವೂ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ, ಸ್ವಸ್ವರೂಪನಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ, ತನ್ನ ಸ್ವರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಚಲನಾಗಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ, ಯಥಾಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥವನಾದ್ರಿಂದ ಈತ ಶುದ್ಧ ಬುದ್ಧ ನಿತ್ಯ ಮುಕ್ತ. ಈ ಆತ್ಮ ಶುದ್ಧ ಬುದ್ಧ ನಿತ್ಯ ಮುಕ್ತ, ನಿತ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪ, ನಿತ್ಯ ಸಿದ್ಧ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಈ ಆತ್ಮ. ಆತನೇ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಆಗಿದ್ರಿಂದ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಕಾಶಗೊಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಪ್ರಕಾಶಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆತ ಇತರೆ ಪ್ರಮಾಣಗಳಾಗ್ಲಿ, ದೇಶವನ್ನಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಕಾಲವನ್ನಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಶುದ್ಧಿಯನ್ನಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ತನ್ನ ಇರುವಿಕೆಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪ್ರಮಾಣಗಳನ್ನ ಆತ ಬಯಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆತನೇ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಸಿದ್ಧ, ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣ, ಸ್ವಯಂ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಆತ್ಮನ ಇರುವಿಕೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಆತನ ನಿತ್ಯ ಸಿದ್ಧ ಶುದ್ಧ ಬುದ್ಧ ಮುಕ್ತತೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರವಾದ ಇತರೆ ನಿಯಮ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆತ್ಮನೇ ಸ್ವಯಂ. ಇದು. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಶ್ಲೋಕ Now Acharya completes that example he has given earlier. See, look, this Atma itself is eternal, Nitya Siddha, eternally present, without birth, without death, all the time. It is as it is, without any change, without any vikara. It remains. So it is beyond the time-space continuum. You cannot fathom. It is indefinite. It is infinite. It is vast. It is huge ocean like. It's like the sky without limit, without boundary. All the time it is present. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Atma Swarup. It is all the time independent. It is all the time present, without any change. It is always eternal, without birth, without death. That is Atma. Comprehending it is difficult. You cannot codify, you cannot comprehend, you cannot describe. It is as it is. So, this can be grasped only by proper knowledge. Only by the direct perception, this can be grasped. This can be experienced. The nature of Nitya Buddha Shuddha Mukta Atma Swarupa can be understood, experienced only by first-hand experience. Only by Atma Sakshatkara you can realize Atma Swarupa. There is no other proof required. There are no other examples or rules required here to prove that you are Atma Swarupa. You have to experience yourself first. So, Ayam Atma Nitya Siddha. It is ever existing, eternally present. It doesn't require any other proof. Na desha, na api, kalam, na shuddhi. It does not need any place or time or ritual purification or whatever it is to prove itself. It itself is a Swayam Pramana. Itself is a proof. That is what Acharya says to the disciple. Atma is Nitya Siddha. And you are that one. And now you have realized that. And you have become Atma Swarupa. Now you have become Atmanishta. Now you have become Brahmanishta. Remain in that. There is nothing else to be done. Nothing else to get. Nothing else to acquire. No more goals. Remain always in that Prashanta Manas, in that eternal peace. Remain silent. So, a Brahmajnani means Mahamauna. Brahmajnana means eternal silence. Eternal silence is Mahajnana or Brahmajnana. So, shloka number 530 by Guru Sankalpa we are stopping today. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. 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 Hari Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwara.
Hari Om.
Hari.
धन्यवाद सर.
धन्यवाद.